Today, the Clyde side speaks. Today, Scotland speaks. Not the Scotland of the lairds and their lackeys. They've never represented Scotland. Here in this demonstration, in this meeting today, is the real Scotland. The Scotland of the working people. And no title, no rank, no establishment honour can compare with the privilege of belonging to the Scottish working class. Because we were aware of the pent-up anger and frustration of countless redundancies after redundancies, the crippling paralysis of small redundancies here and there with the cumulative effect of mass unemployment. We're not going to be hungry. We'll fight when we're in the yards and in the factories and not when we're in the dole shoes. We refuse to accept a philosophy that says that economics control men. Men must and shall control economics. We either win this one, and as we say in our leaflet, defeat is unthinkable because it's back to the 30s. As if we lose, or we win it, and we reverse the whole trend and put the working class on the offensive, and I know that. They will never get us out of these yards.
You hear these when your kid's on going down to Rossi and you're passing shipyards and docks. There's all the different strange sounds, you don't know what it is. And you say, hey mister, what's that? You know, the guy says, oh, it's Fairfield such and such, you know, and that's a such and such ship. You know, that there you get the feeling for the yards. So when you're at school, you know, and that's why we sort of dodged school, because we started going to launches then, because when you see a ship in the water, you can never imagine it out of it. Crans are always running about, and it's always semi-dark, and the fumes sort of hang, the welding fumes hang about in the air. And you go home at night, your ears are sort of humming with the noise. You can't see for this fog of welding fumes, burning fumes. The smoke from makeshift fires that the men have made to keep themselves sort of warm or boil their tea. In winter it's even worse. It's a terrible place. The wind whistles through that icy wind, and the snow and slush gets forms pools of water in and out the welder's cable.
Okay, it's a job. It's like, it's a job, and it's a horrible job in many ways, because the conditions you got to work in are dirty, they're cold, they're wet. In the winter, you might be working at the tail end of a ship, and there's a foresight gale and a snowstorm, but still, it's a job. And in many ways, it's one of the least alienating jobs in industry, because when you start with a ship, you start from the bottom and you finish it, and you see it through the whole way. And when it goes into the water, and no matter where it sails away, you never see it again. That ship is finished, and there's a sort of collective pride. 10 years ago, when a ship finished, you moved on to another yard. That situation no longer applies. There are no other yards in Upper Clyde to move on to now. There's nowhere else for you to go to. You either go and sign the doll, or you move south to London.
The situation here, UCS, when we were being trained, were saying that they don't guarantee employment. Well, this is quite true. When we started in Stevens, they didn't guarantee employment. But it was, assumed that they always employ their apprentices. I was working in a Govan division, and then the training department came up, and they were going to upgrade boys. We naturally assumed that they were selecting technicians for employment. They kept hedging when I was saying, I hear they're looking for a boy. I was asking for a job in maintenance in the Clydebank division. The training department gave me all sorts of nice little notes saying, we would if we could, but we can't, I was told I could get references from the personnel director, the managers of all the departments I worked in. All my work was good. When it was made to them that I actually wasn't a member of the company, they tried to con us with it, saying that the training department in UCS is a separate company. I think it is UCS Training Limited. And of course we weren't notified that we weren't employed by UCS. So they were really trying to pull a fast one. This was their way of getting out of paying me any redundancy money that they might be due. But as you say, if they're not going to employ them, these lads are going to be on the BRU, the Social Security, which is already has a glut of tradesmen who can't get jobs. When your time is just out, companies don't want to know you. They say, well, what experience do you have? We're really looking for someone with 3-4 years experience. Well, the point is, how the hell can you get experience if you won't get a job? You've got to have a job before you have the experience to get another one. That's the situation up here now is that I think they're trying to drive all their young people into the forces or off abroad, or have them out beating the grouse for them, and they're really training these boys, all different trades, and shoving them into the yard to finish the rest of their training, virtually for redundancy.
It's not just Rolls-Royce or UCS that's collapsing, it's the whole bloody system. The system of the bosses, the bankers, which can't even guarantee us the right to work. UCS is still dominated by the old yard owners. They benefited from a merger of about 22 million in extra profit in the past 3 years. They seem incapable of understanding that with the international freight rates declining, with a general recession in the engineering industry, no matter how much cash or credit they sink into the system, it can no longer be salvaged. This is the crunch. Since the Tories returned to power, the working class has been faced with a broad onslaught. The Industrial Relations Bill, the frantic effort to get into the common market, the cuts in the social services, the deliberately created unemployment, the racist immigration bill. Once again, the ruling class are attempting to solve their problems by attacking our living standards. The threat and close of the UCS is part of this attack, and it must be seen as part of this attack.
No closures, no redundancies. They got back to UCS. No closure to UCS! If you hate the Tory government, clap your hands! If you hate the Tory government, hate the Tory government, hate the Tory government, clap your hands! He's out! 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 What do we want? Work! What do we want? Work! I think that the best people who are carrying out their liquidation is the Tories, because they're carrying out the anti-working class policies.
and the working class will soon remove them when they've had enough. And this is what's happening. Now, if the Labour Party think that they're going to get in it as well, you know, if they think that they're going to come in with a wishy-washy sort of middle-of-the-road attitude, then that's not on either. Because I think the people, that's why the Tories got elected, because of the lack of genuine socialist perspective in their policies. And the people, in actual fact, you know, and I do a lot of asking people about, you know, what's their opinion of Labour, Conservative. They're beginning to get to this situation where it's sort of tweedledum, tweedledee, one's as bad as the other. Yeah. This has got to change.
If the Labour government is returned to power, we'll ensure that they carry out real socialist policies. And if they don't, they won't even survive as a party, never mind a government.
You know, and this is why, you know, there is a real determination. You know, determination, they're solid, regardless of what happens. The yard are staying open. This thing of occupying the yard is solid. You know, it's going. If it needs to be done, it will be done.
It's not a gimmick when we say we will occupy the yards. We mean it.
They can talk about cutting off the services. They can talk about it all they like, that these blocks are going to cut off the steel and they're going to cut off all the services. Do they actually make these services? I mean, do they actually provide these services? It's trade unionists that do it, and they'll be the ones that will bloody decide, you know, whether these services are going to be cut off or not.
And this will be the crunch. You'll want
yeah, well, I would say that, and regardless whether the rest of the movement isn't there, if they're looking for leadership, they'll get it after Clyde.
I mean, you take Clyde Bank now. What's Clyde Bank now without John Brown's? Take the yard away from Govan. There's no industry whatsoever in Govan. We all depend on Govan. Well, just let it put it this way. I mean, if the yard closes, I close. I mean, that's my bread and butter. I mean, you take it now, there's a young boy there, learning his service time. Where could he get another job? He couldn't get a job anywhere else. So you're more or less closing the gate to Scotland. I mean, hold on, I mean, this is no nation. I mean, the ghost town.
Could we have all of you join the demonstration? This is not a fight of UCS only. This is a demand for the right to work.
We shall not be moved. We're on our way to Glasgow Green. We shall not be moved as by the Tories of this party. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, not by Turkey. The Tories are his party. We shall not be moved. Hello! Hello! We'll always know our best. We'll build the ships I climb.
We're beggars in horseback, but we're no beggars in horseback. We're only demanding the rights of any human being. The right for every man with self-respect to do an honest day's work. And we're being denied this. Not only in the Clyde side, because this is a problem for the whole shipbuilding in Britain. I mean, it's everybody's problem. Inadvertently, we've been made the spearhead in the fight. But let's get our priorities right. But our main objective is the retention, no contraction in this industry. We will be occupying these yards if the occasion arises, if it's necessary. If we're fighting for our jobs, if it becomes a physical fight, it will not be our fault, it will be the government's fault.
Look lads, when this last thing all culminated and we're running down to London and all the rest of it, this has been allowed to die again. We'll raise it at the first opportunity.
It's just a point, brothers, that the Joint Coordinating Committee are issuing a statement thanking the workers and the representatives in Scotland
for the magnificent show of solidarity. It's the finest post-war demonstration of the working class. In fact, it's the biggest demonstration in Glasgow since General Strike 1926 made it. That is the position, and I think we should show our appreciation for the solidarity of the Scottish working class.
We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We're on your way to Glasgow. We shall not be moved. Despite any other stories, we shall not be moved. We'll never vote Tory. We shall not be moved. We'll never vote Tory. What will we do with Tory? Come on, in the morning. Bum, 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 the bandits. Bum, 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 the bandits. Bum, 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 the bandits. Early in the morning.
And we got a telegram from shipyard workers in Amsterdam promising us any kind of support. In fact, they even offered to adopt for children. The mere fact that they acknowledged our struggle, that in itself was a tremendous thing.
It's because of them we're going to the blue. It's because of them we're going to the blue. It's because of them we're going. Because of them we're going. Because of them we're going to the blue.
Get it, sit up! 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 And it's dead! And it's dead!
These people came to join the demonstration and let them know where they stood. They stood right beside the Clydeside workers. And that has been very heartening to us because the lads, maybe some of them were beginning to think that they were out in a limb, but now they know they're not in a limb. With shipyard workers in Amsterdam and people south of the border are beginning to realise it is a common problem for us all.
As all the business has been fully discussed now, we declare the meeting closed. 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Would the small committee hold back, please? Yes. Everybody do another hour
We feel that this government has been plotting since the inception of this government to destroy Upper Clyde Shipbuilders. We're going to fight. You ask the question how we can fight. We will mobilise a political movement. We will mobilise the industrial movement. Not only the shipbuilders, but the whole working class. They'll need to come into their yards to get us because we're not leaving.
This present crisis, this is only the straw that's broke the camel's back. In the Clydeside in the last 10 years, we've lost somewhere in the region of 30,000 jobs. Well, we're losing no more. We are not going to retreat another inch. Not 1 inch, not 1 job, not anything. We've done everything, flexibility, we've tried everything bar dinner time bingo to save this industry. And enough is enough. And I think my comrades will agree that every man that's working in a UCS will be working in a UCS when this position is resolved. That is our point of view, and we're sticking to that.
The shop stewards representing the workers are in control of this yard. Nobody and nothing will come in, and nothing will go out without our permission. The security officers have been told that, and they accept it. We'll take the decisions with your endorsement that determines what comes in or out this yard.
I would like to take this opportunity, in behalf of the UCS Joint Shop Stewards Committee, of appealing to our brothers and sisters all over the country for not only financial support to sustain us in our struggle, but also moral support and support of a demonstrative nature. We're of the opinion that it is not only our fight, it is every working class families in this country's fight, the fight for the right to work, the right of a decent social and economic environment. And I think that we have got to learn lessons out of the momentous struggle that we're involved in, that workers, in the final analysis, must depend upon their own strengths and their own organisations and the democratic structure within industry. And basically, brothers, I'd like to finish on this note, with solidarity and action. Our fight is your fight. We will not fail you. Don't you fail us. Thank you, brothers.